Hi guys.
Добрый вечер, Марина.
Okay, so I saw Konstantin posted the resume, but unfortunately, Konstantin, today we will not be doing interview. We have an upcoming mobile project, exactly mobile testing project, and I know a lot of you guys submitted emails to participate in the testing. So this is coming like soon, like probably next week or even this one. So I will let you know ASAP once it happens. So I updated our mobile course a little bit. So today we will, so that's the actually really useful for your future interviews. So we will be doing some recap on mobile testing today because I need to remind you how to test, what you're supposed to test, what kind of test cases you're supposed to execute. We'll also created the project in Jira. So you also will be able still to submit bug reports and everything else. So let's start it. Okay, guys, so that's kind of agenda for today. So some stuff's already definitely for you not new, but still let's go again. Okay, so my favorite picture. As guys, you remember in mobile testing, we doing some different steps. So, and we using gestures, which is some motions, how to user will be using device and how this all fancy steps and motion and moves will call. So let's start from the first one. So first one, that's the tap. You all guys know, like you using this tap always. So tap, it means briefly touch the surface with one fingertip. Double tap. Double tap, that means rapidly touch surface twice with a fingertip. Drag. So you know this move, yeah? Like when you're supposed to move the fingertip over a surface without losing the contact. Flick, kind of the same as a drag, and this term, it's not like definition, not really usable in mobile testing, but maybe someone will ask you, do you know what does it flick means? And you will say, yes, sure. So that's the quickly brush surface with the one fingertip. Pinch. So before I moved here to United States, I even never heard this word. So pinch means when you touch on the surface with the two fingers and bring them closer together like this. And spread means the same movement but opposite. So touch the surface with the two fingers and move them apart like this. So that's the pinch and spread. Press gesture. So press gesture, that's the touch surface for the extended period of time, like close to the tap but longer pressing. Press and tap. Press and tap, that's the press surface with the one finger and briefly touch surface with the second finger, like this. Press and drag. Press surface with the one finger and move second finger over the surface without losing the contact. So that's kind of also not really usable, would I say, but still we're supposed to know this one. Rotate. So in this case, rotate, it's not about when you're rotating the screen from the portrait to the landscape. So you mean you're rotating fingers, like when you touch in the surface with the two fingers and move them in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction. So that's the main gestures in mobile testing. So I'm not sure if you will be using all of them, but for the future interview, guys, you're supposed to memorize these gestures. So I will definitely share this presentation with you, so you will be able to save and just maybe repeat one day when you will need this information. So yeah, and it's nice to know like fancy words in the testing. Anybody of you already heard all these gestures? Maybe you're using these words like each and every day. Tell me, guys, please.
Just basic gestures like tap, double tap, but I never ever hear
Swipe
about
up, yeah, like swipe up when like we use an
yes.
Instagram.
It's like usually everyone.
Yes, everyone has a touch screen phones, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I know
maybe
sorry.
you know, like definition like this one, like shake. No, shake, yes, like shake. It's like when you need to, for example, bring up your, I don't know, lights or like cameras sometimes. So, but this one, pinch and spread, like for me, that was a huge surprise when I started like mobile a couple years ago. I never heard. Yeah, right now I know, but in a test case, like when you will be using this gesture really, not only when you use testing an application. If you will, for example, will work for Apple and you will be testing not software, maybe you will be testing hardware, means device. So in this case, you're supposed to know that application, it's definitely doing like the particular gesture. So that's why you're supposed to know. But sometimes, for example, Instagram or Facebook or any like maybe for photo application, say supposed to definitely respond it to the user after those gesture motions. So also like test cases will be definitely applicable using these gestures. Okay, so I will give you this fancy picture so you will have it. Okay, guys, mobile specific test cases. So that will be really close to our application. So let's do it. So what we're supposed to test when we're testing application, not device, we're testing application, which means inside the device. So we have to test how our application will be looks and work and respond in different orientations like landscape and portrait. Really common test case with a lot of issue you can find. So next one, you're supposed to test how your application will handle the slow internet connections, and you have to test external interruptions like a phone calls, text messages, and so on. How do you think, how are you supposed to test this one? What does this test case mean? So tell me.
We use application and somebody must call in this moment to this mobile device.
Okay, I will give you like good example, like what happened with me like each and every time. So during my commute, I'm listening the music using Google Play Music. So, and it's playing, yeah, I'm using headphones. So, and when someone is calling, like text me, not when text me, but definitely when call is incoming, my application, Google Play Music, stops playing and application go to the background. So I see the incoming call screen. So at this moment, there is no music and no like Google Play Music application. That means that Google Play Music application passed the test. So I am able to accept the call. I able to speak with my incoming caller. So that means test case to pass. So the same with the message. If I'm listening to music, I'm supposed to able to see the message and respond and read. So that's how usually it's going. Okay, so let's talk about the like test cases and really possible test scenario for mobile application testing. So yeah, I will right now will tell you the test scenario, and you guys supposed to tell me what do you think, like what type of the testing this test case should be done, like performance, smoke, regression, functional, integration, like, so I'm giving you an example and you telling me the testing type. So ensure that the application has been launched by downloading and installing it for use.
Definitely smoke.
Yes. Verify that the mobile application display is adaptable to the device screen and also ensures that all menus on the application are functioning.
Regression?
No, it's functional testing.
Functional testing.
That's the smoke. You're supposed to verify that mobile application display is adaptable to device screen. So guys, sometimes, and like you're supposed to, all menus on our application is functional. So you got new build, yeah? And maybe your build related to the, I don't know, for example, new button or maybe new cookie policy. You know, once you launch in some application or website, you will see like small pop-up messages that will tell you, please accept the cookie. So, and in this case, sometimes this implementation, something exactly in the front of the application on the first welcome screen, really affected the CSS of the application. So that's kind of an example of this possible test scenario. So in this case, it will be smoke. Once you see like app display is adaptable and you will see everything on the screen like layout, menus, and just you need how many, like you need less than a minute to verify everything is fine. So in this case, it will be small, guys. So that's kind of this test case, it's still like a smoke. Okay, so verify that the text on the mobile app readable and clear.
Functionality.
Performance.
Oh,
Regression.
Usability.
Smoke.
Again,
Smoke, again smoke.
Accessibility.
No, not accessibility. That's the smoke. Accessibility, it's different one. We will talk about a little bit later. So yeah, just also open application. Can you read? That's the clear, not like blurry. That's it. That's the smoke. Okay. Next one. Check that the application display is adaptable and amenable to the various display mode, like landscape and portrait.
Compatibility.
That's, I would say, functional.
Functional.
Because right now you check and yeah, you can say compatibility, and I wouldn't say that's like totally wrong. But in this case, I would say that's the functional. Like when you rotate in the screen, that's already like you check in the application functionality, how application will handle layout under landscape and portrait. So I would say it like 50 smoke, 50 functional, but from my understanding, more closer to functional. So maybe that's kind of tricky interview questions, but I would say there is no definitely 100% right or wrong answer. You still can have your personal opinion, which is sometimes I think like that's really cool when you have your really strong personal opinion. Yeah, you might be a little bit wrong, but that's also fine. Okay, verify that the application does not stop the functioning of other apps in the mobile device. So what does it mean? Like when you're using Instagram, for example, you can still check your messages, you can still accept phone calls, you can read the book download, and so your application does not like definitely crashing your other phone's functionality and application. And this test case is
functional.
Function.
Performance.
Integration.
yes, integration. So I would say, guys, the same. It's not only like integration, it's functional too. I would say like 80% of integration and 20% of functional. So definitely this integration testing probably mostly will be done on the backend. But you as a tester, for example, how you will test this one? For example, your device is like, would say like not really, that's the test device, and you don't have on this test device like a lot of Instagram, Facebook, what do we have, bank applications, everything else. So how you, as a tester, once you install in your exactly testable application, you're supposed to also install other application and make sure that like normal application, you're supposed to think like as a user, what user using each and every day. Like I'm using, for example, New Jersey Transit application because in this application, I'm showing the bus driver my ticket, for example. So I'm using this application a lot. And sometimes what I can say, if I cannot close this application. So for example, I already showed the ticket to the bus driver and I'm clicking to the exit. And sometimes this application, after I'm realizing that maybe after the update or after the build, it's like sometimes freezing my phone, which is, that's the government company, so I cannot really complain about this one. But still, you see, in this test case is failed because like I would say in like 20%, sometimes this application affected my personal usage. So even sometimes I have to restart the phone. It's like maybe happened like 3 or 2 times, but I remember this one. So in this case, I would say we have to work on our application functionality. So something is wrong. So that's how you're supposed to test, like how application will be integrated and works with other application. So integration and functional too. So next test scenario is verify that the play screen, the back key allows the application to go back to the startup screen. So yeah, either you're using back button or you're using any other phone button. So yeah, if you're supposed to go back inside of their application, you're supposed to be able to do this one. And this one is
Functional.
yes, correct.
Functional, and we can say it's a little bit like
Yeah.
10-20% integration too.
It's the same, but this one integration is done on the backend because that's about how application integrated in device, means integration probably mostly between hardware and software, not between applications. Okay, next one is check that application still operates as intended if the device resumes from inactive mode from the lock screen. Give me an example.
Application sign you out. Bank application sign you out while you were switching off your screen.
Maybe when you use an app and then you just click the screen off button and then you unlock the phone?
Yes, that's right. So for example, yeah, I'm reading the book. Like I'm using Audible application, for example, and I'm reading the book inside. And for purpose or by mistake, I hit the power button on my phone and screen is locked. So once I unlock, my screen is unlocked, I want to see the same view. So that's the test case, like example of this test case. And this test case is
functional.
Yes.
Functional.
Yeah. Okay. So next one is check whether the application reminds the user to save settings, changes, or changing information before moving to the other activities on their application. Give me an example. What changes I'm right now talking about? User profile. For example, I have created my user profile like first time. Everything was successful. And for example, my email address changed. And so I have to go to their application and update my email address. And once I update it, I have to click save the button. So in this case, we're supposed to check that this save button works as expected, means it's clickable, and after this action was done by user, data should be saved on their application, and after it's saved, you supposed to be redirected like to the home page, to the, I don't know, your profile screen on their application. So that's the actually really, guys, often test case when you can find any issue, I mean user profiles. So when you will be working with any application, not only mobile, I'm talking also about desktop application, always pay attention to the user profile flow, like how you can update email, how you can save something, how you add profile, add picture, add date of birth, phone number, address, payment information. So all these test cases should be tested like really neatly, because so many issues usually happened under this user profile creation and user profile edit, adding profiles. So multiple issue might happen. So always pay attention to this type of test cases and when you will be testing this functionality. Okay, next one. Verify that the on-screen keyboard appears immediately the user attempt to enter the text. So yeah, once you trying to type something inside of your application, you immediately supposed to see the keyboard, and you should be able to enter the text using this keyboard. So this test case usually just I wouldn't say that this should be like as a separate test case, but when you enter in, for example, some data in the search field or enter in your email address, you're supposed to always pay attention that keyboard, like functional from your first move, you're able to enter the text. So yeah, sometimes if you have a time, you can create like special test cases, how you will bring up the keyboard on mobile application, how you will be entering the text, and so on and so on. And this test case will be
Functional.
Functional.
okay, cool. Okay, next one is check if the application behave as designed if the mobile device is shaken. Give me an example, guys. How you will test this one? What you will be checking, like example of the application, maybe test scenario, test steps, like what?
Yeah, maybe user can use his phone in the car on any other type of transportation. So just G sensor on the mobile device is gonna get data like it's shaking, but in real life it does not.
So the same example from my real life. You know, like when you became a tester, everything like what you're doing with application, with technology, with the TV, everything like what is a software, believe me guys, you will start thinking different way. I don't know if it's actually normal, but that's how I'm thinking right now about like everything what I'm doing in my life. So the same, music. So I hate this like city sound, like subway so loud, like so many people, and like when you like working a lot, testing a lot, sometimes you need just your like personal space, like maybe like light music and something else. So, and sometimes like when I just walk in and listen in the music and like I'm my phone in my hand, because I have to always read the Slack messages. I have like messages from students, from my work, so and so on. Like in the subway, when I walk in, sometimes my phone is shaking because I'm moving this moment. Like that's just happened by accident. And the most common issue when I'm like, for example, when I'm shaking the phone really hard, for example, I see the light, like, you know, the splash from the camera or just like some light from the phone. So I don't know if that's as designed and supposed to like work as expected. That's the feature of the Google Pixel XL phone, but sometimes it's really annoying. So that's the test case from my test scenario from my life. So probably there is other possible test scenario, but that's real example from my life. Okay, so and this one is the same, yeah, functional. Okay, next one. Verify that the application still functions as designed when the battery is low, notification appears on the screen.
Functional as well.
Yeah, so in this case, we check in, I would say it also not only application, we also check in like device battery. Like That's also will be more related to how our application performing with the device, if it's eating our battery or no. But yeah, in this case, if we will check in application functionality, you see the function work. Yeah, that's the functional test case.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
but I have a LG phone, and I think no one tested before they. Because all what we're talking about over here, my phone, like I listen Spotify, and my friend called me on a Facebook Messenger. When I answer the call, the music still playing, or like all the crazy stuff happened with my phone.
So in this case, what I can tell you, it's not about actually the phone, it's about an application. So probably you in this low percentage of users of Spotify application who is using LG phone. So that's why it's not really properly integration. You know, guys, yeah, how we create in our matrix support. So we check in our analytics, and by this analytics data, we making a decision what we are going to test, which browsers, which platforms, which devices. So, and tell me, guys, the most popular device, top number 1 in United States.
Samsung.
Yes.
iPhone.
iPhone.
No, Samsung.
No, Samsung.
By analytics, that's the Samsung, because there is so many. I know a lot of you prefer iPhone, but not me. I am like totally Android user. Like for example, my heart as a laptop belongs only to the Mac laptop, but my heart belongs to Android phone. I hate iOS like as a phone. So for me, it's maybe, I wouldn't say too simple, but just not my phone, what I can say. So.
What about tablets?
I'm not
like iPad.
I'm not using only for, yes, iPad Pro. That's the just totally perfect device.
What about AirPods or another like
no, not
watch?
No, not using Apple. I prefer real watch, so not electronic one. So yeah.
It is anyhow I can send the bug report to Spotify.
Yeah,
I think actually it's more related to the internal Android built in LG device. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a lot of experience working with custom software for Android devices, and I developed some stuff by myself. I can say what it's probably a software issue on the phone by itself.
Listen, probably, we never know, but Spotify, they also supposed to like really care. So, you know, in this case, if that's the phone issue, so company's supposed to test this one and announce to the users that like limited support on like Spotify application using LG phone, for example. Guys, what can I tell you? Company who is working with like devices like TV, phones, who is like presenting the software, like, do you know the smart TV functionality, like all those applications on a smart TV, like YouTube, any other application, like Amazon application, any other, like Disney application, Disney Now channel application. So believe me, those company really hard working with a hardware company like Samsung, LG, Vizio, any possible like popular TV by analytics usage to exactly test how the application will be working under particular TV. So it's not only LG company's fault, it's also Spotify that they not really tested. And so if for example, yeah, if it's like 3% of the users of Spotify application using LG phone, yeah, it's not worth to really waste the time to fix some issue on for those users. It's better to develop some cool features for iOS and Samsung and like Google Pixel phone users, yes. But still, I don't know, if you want your user be happy, like, I don't know, at least add some notes that we have some issues with this one because it's not really compatible with the LG phone. So be nice with your customers. That's your money. I don't know. I really care about each and every customer. Like when when I see some bad reviews related like our product. So I'm trying to realize what I can do, how I can do things better. So it's not only me, like whole customer service department, I think really in charge of this one, but so that's the company decision, so not mine. Okay, guys. Favorite one. Check that the application still operates as designed when a message or notification pop up from another application, such as Facebook Messenger, Instagram, or other applications. So that's the what kind of type of testing, guys?
Integrity.
Yeah, guys, integration and functional, both. So yeah, once we doing something like the same, I'm reading the book. So I want, when I'm reading the book and something important like message from my friend, or maybe someone like my favorite Instagram blogger start YouTube, like Evgeny Kim start live video, I want to watch it. I want to see, I want to be definitely notified about this one. So yeah, that's the cool test case, and I like it. Test those functionalities. Okay, next one. If the application comes with a user setting feature, check if the application changed when some form of changes is affected by the user. So the same. Some applications developed and when they developed, they really related to the user settings like of the device. For example, your device OS language is Russian. So, and you download in the application. So default fallback logic, if you don't, for example, application not supporting the Russian language, so you're supposed to say English. But if your device settings is Russian and application language supports Russian language, you're supposed to, by default logic, see the Russian language. But once you change your OS language to English, application also supposed to, probably after you will restart the phone or probably following update of their application, became English OS application, like English UI language application. So that's how it's work. So, but guys, that's test scenario about the default backup logic, supposed to be definitely developed by the company, and supposed to be, you're supposed to have a clear requirements about this backup logic. So really rare test, not rare test cases, I would say that's the hard and test and figure out how it will work. But if your application, that's the multinational word usage application, that's supposed to be tested really neatly. Okay, next one. Check the performance of the application on different internet networks, such as like 1, 2, 3G, like works as expected. So, you know, yeah, you're supposed to just simulate. How you can simulate, guys, a slow network? Tell me, on their application.
Google from the development tool.
No, that's the that's when you will be using web mobile view. So means you will open the browser. But right now we're talking about the mobile application. How you will simulate the slow network on mobile application on your phone.
Probably through Charles proxy, you can slow down internet connection.
Yeah, yeah, that's the most. So do you know how to do it, guys? Okay.
Not yet.
No.
That's easy. So do you remember I show you how to connect the phone to the laptop, yeah? So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to bring up the Charles application on your laptop and then connect your phone. And phone supposed to, so you're supposed to share in internet. So you're supposed to make a settings, special settings. So, and your phone will be taking internet from your laptop. Once it's happened, you can set up slow connection on the Charles, and that's how you will simulate slow internet on your application. So what can I say? That's the really painful settings. By some magic, sometimes you know that you did like everything correct and it doesn't work. It happens with me like a lot. For example, like I spent like a couple of hours, like connected the phone, like Google, like whole Google. doesn't work. Next day I came, just restarted my machine. Everything worked like this. I don't know, guys, how it happens, but it happens a lot. So settings, like when you're setting up your environment, that's such a punishment. So be patient, be ready. Like sometimes, you know, you just have to go out from your table. I don't know, breathe, like go like deep breathe, take some fresh air. So, and sometimes decision just will go, like will come to you this way. But believe me, settings, that's a really painful. So next one, check that the application operates as intended when device is connected to the internet through Wi-Fi. So usually that's the just really quick test case. You're supposed to check how our application work under LTE and how our application will be working under Wi-Fi. So that's the functional testing in this case. So just switch the type of, just turn off Wi-Fi and see, and bring back Wi-Fi, and we'll see how your application handling the switching connection. If layout the same, if there is no freezing, if there is no, like, you know, like unnecessary refreshing of the screen on your application. So yeah, everything supposed, definitely, guys, that's the like most useful scenarios in my life. But there is, you're supposed to always remember, you cannot be guessing. Your work is not a detective. You're supposed to have a clear requirement. And if there is no requirements, you're supposed to send up or check, like send a Slack message. So find out the person who will definitely give you a clear answer. Okay.
Sorry, Marina. Actually, a lot of applications have an issue when it's internet connection related applications, in switching between Wi-Fi and cell phone networks. So it's 4G, 3G. A lot of them have major issues. As a user, I can tell.
I'm agree with you, definitely. Like that's like real simple test scenario. When I'm, it's the same test case from my life. I am under the sea, inside of the Lincoln Tunnel. So internet looks like by my connection on the phone, it exists. Like LTE shows me like my connection is almost perfect, but it's not true. And application, you know, instead of showing me there is a slow internet connection message or something else, it's just also like I see the white screen. So yeah, that's sometimes, and switching up like the same, like once like that's the almost end of the tunnel and we're going up to the city. So yeah, I see first that's the slow internet, there is okay internet, and finally 4G internet. So yeah, an application, sometimes you have to refresh, exit an application, yeah, multiple issues. So that's why, guys, mobile tester, that's the real cool position. You will have a lot of challenges. So when you will see position like mobile application testing, go for it, guys. I strongly believe like future in mobile testing. Okay. Yeah, check that the application adaptable to the different mobile platforms or OS such as Android, iOS, and Microsoft. So Microsoft Windows Phone still exists, yeah, guys, but honestly, I never had an experience to test.
No, unfortunately, they dead. I was been user of Microsoft mobile platform, but right now it's completely dead.
Completely dead. 2 years ago, I bought for my mom Windows Phone, Nokia Luna, I think. And actually, it was not bad phone, like, I mean, related to the battery. It's not really cool with other fancy application, but just for simple usage, why not? So yeah, but definitely, if your company developing their application for both iOS and Android, you're supposed to make sure that application work as expected. And this type of testing is what?
Functional.
Integration.
Come on. No. Not
Smoke.
integration, not
That
fun.
it's smoke.
Guys, we supposed
regression tests.
performance test case is verify that your application works properly both on Android operation system and iOS.
Compatibility testing.
Yes, compatibility. Compatibility. That's the, yeah, guys. So when you cross-platform, that's the compatibility. That's the different platforms. Okay, check that the font size and style of the application are compatible and readable to the users. And that type of testing is
Accessibility.
yes. And this, yeah, that's the accessibility users, accessibility testing. But there is also interesting thing about the accessibility testing, guys. So once you will be asking the questions, did you perform an accessibility testing? So in this case, my answer will be no, and I will explain you why. So to perform accessibility testing, you're supposed to have a certificate or be trained at least by the company who is doing audit of the accessibility. For example, if you will work in big company, not even in a big company. So, you know, there is a compliance stuff. So for some so your company, when developing application, definitely supposed to make sure that your application is friendly for the users with special needs. How they check in this one? So usually company hiring them third-party company who is doing this accessibility audits. After that company has a specialist who definitely trained well enough to make a decision about your application. So, and usually they telling you, you have to work on this one and that one, and we will train your developers and tester on this, and they will be able to check some accessibility stuff. So after this training, that's between 3-4 days, you will get the certificate and you will be able to do accessibility testing. So, but if this question will be, you will be asked from the person who did this one and you never, like, for example, finished this training, got the certificate, it's easy to catch you if you never did it. So in this case, you can say, yes, I can, like using some simply Googling, I was able to, for example, check some functions using keyboard, like text readers, but no, because you can tell, I know that's this special type of the test and I'm supposed to be trained and have a certificate one. So you can say the same. In our company, we had a special third-party partners who performed this accessibility testing. So I know these guys really well because I was on this training, and it's really sometimes hard features, special devices. So you're supposed to know that your application definitely will communicate with a user with a special needs in a proper way. Okay, so next one, verifies that the loading time for the application is not too long. The same, yeah. And this one test case supposed to be done under extremely perfect connection. So everyone knows that if it's like 2G or 3G, you might experience the issue. So users not complain. But if user sees that he's under excellent internet connection, for example, home Wi-Fi or office Wi-Fi, and you see that application is loading, like spinning. So there is a two type of possible issues that they see. First one, that's the performance, something really bad on the backend. And second one, you know, guys, sometimes there is a sticky ads in their application when your application using some advertising from other partners. So sometimes when you're using the third-party code in your application, so and this ad code really garbage sometimes. So sometimes there is spinning in your application because of this advertising. So this one's supposed to be checked like really well. Okay, check that the application is still working, is intended after the successful update of the application, and this type
regression.
no.
Why?
Smoke.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Correct. Sorry.
Because that's the small. Okay, check how the application function under different battery level and temperature. So that guy's test case is definitely more related to the device. I wouldn't say that like temperature of the battery really affect application functionality, but battery level it is. Sometimes where it's like that's the low performance of the device might affect the application functionality. So, you know, when you have like, for example, 4% of like your battery life, probably your application, like you watching YouTube, yeah? You will not be able probably watch the video in full functionality when you under 4% of your battery. So that's one, yeah. If you're working with something like video streaming stuff, you're supposed to test your application under low battery. So at least users supposed to be definitely see the warning, or it's supposed to be somewhere under how to use the application instruction, supposed to be added that like under this particular level of the battery you might experience some issue. So yeah, that's the also like, and this test case is
Functional.
And
Integration.
no, performance. Yes. Okay, last two test cases. So verifies that the application is not draining too much battery. That's, yeah, like, you know, yeah, guys, Facebook, not even Facebook, exactly the Facebook Messenger. Right now, it's a little bit better, but I remember maybe 6 months ago, I just disabled all notifications. So I just like when I had the time, I'm going checking, but I remember it just was like totally destroying my battery. Right now, it seems to be working. Also like Instagram, yeah, because that's the, like photos, videos, and everything else. So yeah, it's eating a lot of battery. Right now, it's better. They really working on improvement of their application, like Facebook. They're really good in this one, but still, sometimes it's still an issue. Okay, and last one, check that the application does not log out the user before the end of the session. So for example, you using the bank application, so you want to make a payment, and definitely you're supposed to be logged in to make a payment. And sometimes when you already click on the submit button payment, and you know, guys, that's the spinning start, and connection may be a little bit unstable, or something happened like on API side, that might happen. Application will just you kick it back from this operation, and there is two possible scenario: double charge or zero charge. So that's why you're supposed to make sure if anything happened with the application, or to make like some actions like with your application, user should be logged in. Make sure in your other action in this application will not kick it back you from like when you're doing some session. So you're supposed to be always logged in. That's supposed to be tested because it's happened a lot. So that's about mobile specific test cases. Questions, guys? No? Okay, let's go. So small reminder about real device versus simulator. Why we prefer to test on real device. For example, Face ID, Touch ID, this one, fingerprint sensor, we cannot really test on emulators. Xcode, they're trying to provide some functionality, but it's still in development. So if you want to test, for example, you know, yeah, a lot of bank application using fingerprint log in. In this case, you guys supposed to definitely test this functionality using the real device. Simulator or emulator, not your friend in this case. Some configuration features may not be available on simulators, like you cannot configure really the payment method, you cannot make a purchase, you cannot, for example, pay for the product using PayPal, because this one, two-factor authentication, definitely will not work with the emulator or simulator. So That's why it's better to use real device. Yeah, in simulator test results, it's not 100% guarantees a real device will have the same behavior, and actually opposite. So for example, it's happened with me a lot with a browser stack, so that's why I'm using browser stack only when I have to check, you know, like CSS and view, and if I'm able to scroll up and down, and that's it. Because it's happened with me a lot. For example, I see the issue like button is not clickable on browser stack, like for example, drop down menu, and real device, the same real device show me there is no issue, and opposite. For example, I see an issue on real device and browser stack, just 0 errors. So when it's something really important functionality of your application, you're supposed to bring up in your company. For example, you have only like 3 to-test devices and you have to test more, and they will tell you use emulator and simulator. You're not supposed to fight that you're supposed to buy, like for me, test devices. They should, but that's not your responsibility. You're just supposed to do what? You're supposed to warn them that emulators and simulators not really showing the real test results. So that's a quick recap about devices and simulators. Okay, guys, do you remember what does a deep linking testing means? So like in quick overview. So for example, you user and I don't know, Amazon application. So, and where is some like you have this application installed on your phone, and when some promotions like for some items happens on the like Amazon website, they send in you emails. Please check this item. We have a promotion for this one right now. So, and when you click on this link, it will bring you exactly application with this particular item. So by this link, application redirect user to the exactly promotional item. So that's how deep linkings work. So yeah, so that's really good in a promo. So when you're removing step from the like transaction process, deep linking helps to maintain user attention and improve conversation rates. So that's how it looks like in reality, how it's connected. And I will show you like quick demo of this one. That's how it works. So you got an email, that's the link. And you see, you're redirected to exactly to the promotional item. That's the deep linking testing. You see? You exactly see the promo. So sometimes it not be the case, you will see whole application. So for example, I can give you an example. For example, Michael Kors store. Like I see promo, for example, they promote in some bags. And once I'm clicking on these emails, I see the homepage. So I supposed to do an extra step, navigate through the menu and check what the promo is right now. So that's supposed to say not doing really deep linking testing. Yeah, push notification. That's what we said. Like, can you guys give me an example of the most annoying push notification in United States? Like that's really annoying.
Amber Alert?
Yes. So that's one in like, and do you remember also it was alert about the not bomb, about the rocket somewhere from like, it was so crazy. So yeah, so sometimes that's also annoying and supposed to be tested, but that's a really good scene. For example, the same, how company using those push notification. I will give you an example. How my real experience was this push notification testing, and it was really interesting. So when I was working in New York Daily News and we implemented mobile applications, so how we use this push notification. For example, that's the some really cool news, like really important, also like alert, something happened. I don't know, Meghan Markle, met Prince Harry, something else like the promo news, the top news number 1 of the day. So, and by using this push notification, we promoted our articles. So once something really important is happened, user who has our application sees the news. So what's happened right now in the world. So he will see the pop-up with this article and like really short description what's happened. And definitely on this push notification, you will see the company logo, like it was our New York Daily News logo. So it was interesting. So how we tested this one. Yeah, it's not you just developer send the code. So there is supposed to be continuous integration between the developer's code and user's phone. So once this cron job run on the developer side, or in my case, I run this one. So that's the easy. You just have to hit the link, like specify some settings, and users like testers will receive this push notification. Yeah, and you're supposed to check that's the yeah, definitely it's on the real device only. So emulators will never show you the real results, and I'm not even able, if it's possible, to connect emulators to this continuous integration. Might be possible right now because I did this one a couple years ago. Right now I don't know, but when I did it, it wasn't possible. So you're supposed to verify that you receive it. You're supposed to click on it and make sure that you're redirected to the proper place. That's it. So yeah, and I will show you the demo of this notification. You see? Road is closed. So that's the kind of notification from the Google Maps. Okay, so I think it's really clear with possible test scenario. So let's guys remember some interview question, because I hope you're really on the market right now and actively interviewing, or it might happen like soon. So let's talk about interview questions a little bit. So what is the difference between mobile testing and mobile application testing? You see the answer, but can you tell me please, by using your own words, what's the difference between mobile testing and mobile application testing?
Mobile device, I should use real mobile device for testing. In mobile application testing, I can use emulator or simulator.
No, I'm sorry, but no. Difference between mobile device testing and mobile application testing.
Oh.
When I'm testing device, I'm testing hardware.
Yes,
when
yes.
I'm testing application, I'm testing the software. That's the like most simple answer. Okay, types of mobile application: native, hybrid, web. Give me an example of native, hybrid, or web application if you know. If you don't, I will give you an example.
Native, it has to be installed on your on your device, and web it doesn't have to be installed. You just need to have internet connection. That's all.
And hybrid?
Hybrid, it's something in the middle.
Yeah, like Amazon application, it's hybrid.
Yes. What else? What else is hybrid? How you will
Facebook hybrid.
How it's hybrid, like for sure. And guys, the answer you cannot be really sure. You're supposed to know the code and ask a developer. But Twitter, that's the hybrid kind of. I think Instagram, that's the hybrid. Like, but yeah. But 400% sure, I wouldn't say. Like I will say like 90%, but there is some 2% that I still would like to confirm with a product or development. That's my application. It's like for sure hybrid. Okay, so
Marina,
yeah.
sorry. About hybrid application, can I say what I can check if we can take, I don't know, Slack, we can take Gmail application. If I open different links, I can open its links, but I open these all links in application. Can I say it's, because I can do it, it's probably hybrid?
For example, if you click somewhere on the browser and you see the links to the Gmail, for example, if you want to send us an email, click here. And once you click on this email, Gmail, and you already have an application installed on your phone, and once application will bring up you the new email window. In this case, I would say yes, that's the hybrid application. That's how you can check. So yeah, your like opinion is like close to correct one. Yeah. But if you want to make sure that's definitely hybrid, yeah, try to navigate somewhere from the web. So means web is talking to the application in a proper way. That's how I would answer to these questions. Also, I'm not sure if it's like I'm 100% correct, but looks like yes. But always, yeah, in this case, I will ask my developer. I'm not a detective. I don't want to be guessing. Like, it's easy to ask, that's it. So if you're not sure about the, like, if they will ask you, do you know if our application is hybrid or native? And you say, no, I never saw the code. So just please tell me, and that's it. Okay. So how to test CPU usage on mobile devices? So if, for example, iOS, like not iOS, Apple or Samsung will give you an offer after or during the interview, or so yeah, guys, use in this case, if you will be going to the interview where it's position not about application testing, about the hardware device testing, before the interview, you're supposed to be prepared to answer those questions like which tools you will be using to test CPU, so maybe something about hardware testing. So yeah, I'm not really see positions for exactly device testing, but honestly, I never look on it, so it might exist. Okay, yeah, latest version of iOS and Android, guys, you're supposed to give me an answer even if I will ask you in 3 a.m. in the morning, okay? So iOS is 12, Android is 9, is Pie, and what we're expecting right now, what kind of Android will be next one?
10.
Yes. So they like August 22nd, Google announced that the new Android version is coming. So I'm excited, actually waiting. So we'll see what they will bring us. Okay. So that's about the
new
version.
iOS. New iOS will be presented September 10.
Yeah, new iOS. Yeah, I'm actually, guys, not only me, like all my colleagues, when it's like Google I/O or Apple presentation, we usually bring it up on the huge screen and like just listen, because it's always interesting to see what other companies doing, and what I can tell you, like the day before or maybe the same day, we always get in the devices from the Apple, like with the new phones, with the new versions. So I'm always like see everything new, which is also cool, like when you can see. So that's why I saw each and every iOS new devices, and still, guys, I don't know, maybe something wrong with me, but I still like Android more. Even like I was able to test all fancy iOS devices. They kind of cool, but still not mine. I don't know why. Okay. Extension of the Android files and iOS files. Also, you're supposed to know Android, that's the APK, iOS, that's the IPA. Even if you're applying for the manual position, there is, guys, really common questions. What do you know about automation? Are you interested in automation? So yeah, please remember, you can say, never performed the automation testing yet, but really interested in, and I know there is a tools like Appium, XQTest, Espresso. So yeah, if you definitely, you understand, and I understand, if you will go to the mobile interview testing, so yeah, definitely you have to Google some information about mobile automation. It's actually super interesting field. I mean, mobile automation and just manual testing of the mobile application. So who knows what I will be doing in the future, but like a couple years ago, I really seriously was thinking about Android development. So we'll see. Yeah, it's the same. What all major networks to be considered while performing application testing? Yeah. So, and you're supposed to reply that, yes, I will test 4G, 3G, 2G, and Wi-Fi. So yeah, that's the simple answer. Yeah, 5G kind of exists, but that's the still fake 5G. So we're not testing on 5G right now. Yeah, tools like emulators. What kind of emulators do you know? So Perfecto Mobile, Browser Star, Amazon Cloud Device Farm, and South Labs. And what else? Homework. Okay, guys. So using today with class material, like pictures, maybe some test cases, take your favorite app or just take any applications that you're using each and every day, like from the user perspective, and try to test. Maybe you will find some cool issues. And I don't remember, but someone is asking me, can I submit bug report to Spotify? Yes, Google. Just Google it or send email to customer support. Guys, I see an issue with this phone. Maybe you can attach logs. So also you can Google how to, with which application you can collect the logs for iOS device and for Android device. So yeah, try to practice. So right now, once you're on the market, yeah, definitely guys, first what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to focus on the what? Job search. So that's the kind of like a job when you're supposed to each and every day check Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and wherever you apply. So that's your main part of responsibility. You're supposed to be active on the market. So do not hesitate to apply to any position and just go for it. But once you have something like free time or you want to just like, I don't know, change like the structure of your day and a little bit stress from the applying. So yeah, practice mobile testing. Maybe it will help one day during your interview. So that will be the homework like for you guys. Okay, questions? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Not only related to the mobile testing, any type of, yeah guys, I know there is a last class for you, but that's not, I hope that's not our last meeting. So also guys will do something excited for you. Like, I mean, Denis, Azat, and Evgeny, so probably you will meet them all. I'm not sure about the date, but this will be announced like in a general channel. And yeah, right now go with the questions.
Marina, can I ask you, maybe it was already said and I miss it, about how long we will have access to Jira? Just for example, if I want to practice to write test cases.
At least 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, at least.
And about Slack.
Yeah,
to communicate
to our main channel, Test Pro.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this one you will still have like 3 months still, but yeah, after 3 months it will be archived. So yeah, guys, please go and subscribe to our Test Pro main channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, this channel will stay for forever. And all like me, guys, we all on this channel as well. So still, if any question, you can ask there.
Yeah, I have a question. So could you please show us like real example of the bug report on mobile test application?
Bug report. Oh, real example. Mobile application. Let me check. Maybe I actually have it. 1 second, guys. I will check maybe from my New York Daily News. I have something. Bug report, you mean the structure will be the same, so it not will be different like from the web application, but 1 second. Here's my test cases. Yeah, I already found. So So there is a test case. So that's actually, guys, you see? So also, like, when I had not really have a like free time, I used to just use Excel spreadsheet. So you see how it looks like. So we put testers here who will be testing which device. You see, it was long time ago, Android 7, Android 8. So pass-fail indicator and test like what kind of environment and what kind of test cases. So, and I remember this issue, sign up via email. It was like failed. So in this case, bug report will look like so title will be sign up via email user flow doesn't work. And what will I put first? That's the environment. I will say that's the QA environment, and then I will provide the device, like for example, probably it was Android 7. And what I will say is steps to reproduce. So navigate to the sign up email, enter and tap on navigate to sign up email flow, then tap to the sign up via email button. See the error message, something went wrong. Please see attached screenshot. That's it. And logs probably. I don't remember if I used in this time the Logcat application to collect the logs, but that will be like the example of the bug report.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm really confused about deployments process. Maybe if you did it, can you describe if you participate in deployments and promotions of hot fixes?
Definitely. But tell me, what is like really confusing to you? What
I need to understand how this process.
From the tester perspective?
Yes, because I specify this process in my resume, and I need to describe. I need to understand it correctly. And
What did you specify in your resume? Tell me first.
Participating in deployments and promotions of hot fixes and weekly releases.
First, what I can tell you, not really necessary bullet in a resume. If you think it's fancy, you can leave it. But by my understanding, that's by default. So you're supposed to be participating in the hotfix, definitely. So how it's work? For example, related to the hotfix. First, tell me when hotfix is happened. The purpose of the hotfix.
I think when we after production, when we put our application to production. No.
No. So hotfix by the name, yeah, that means we're supposed to fix something. Why it's hot? Because that's the urgent, like hot dog, but hotfix when it's happened. For example, you release to production your application or update the feature. And after this release, you found that something is broken, your application after the latest build. Means it's not, yeah. First, it means you tested bad, or like, yeah, something was missed under testing process. So that's really bad. Like when you're supposed to do hotfix in production after release, that's not everyone will blame the testers. Sometimes that like, also I had the situation in my life. So once it's happened, we just pretending that it was a team effort. So it's like fault of the whole team, developers, QA, and like product that the issue was missed. Sometimes that's some like definitely like technical issue, and it's not fault of developers or QAs. There is like sometimes it happens, guys. That's the development. So everything is possible. So once this happened, we're supposed to implement a hotfix. So developers supposed to really quickly find the solution. We're supposed to test it, and then they supposed to push this fix to production. So how it's happened, how this process like you said, hot fix deployment. It's not really hot fix deployment, so but how it's happened. So developers making like some search like based on the bug report that you provided in production, and they saying, okay, we found a solution. So then they fixing this issue on QA environment, and then you're supposed to test this issue. And then they pushing this isolated fix, not like whole PR, like isolated fix, not whole, not again, they're not pushing again whole code to the production, because if they push again like whole code, whole update, it might be again some other different issues. So they pushing the isolated fix. And deployment, how they use it. They're just using continuous integration tool. So we have to change the like build version. That's usually just numbers somewhere in the Jenkins, and just click using the git command or anything else, like how it will be set it up in your company. And this Jenkins jobs will update the build. So once this job is done, so you will see new changes on your production. And you can test your fix on production. That's how the hot fix looks like, and that's the purpose of the hot fix. So, but I hope in your life you will not really be often really experience a hot fix, because it's bad, guys. When you're supposed to do fix in production, team is not happy. You will not be happy, developers and everything else. So try to test a lot before they pushing your fix to the production.
So sounds like it's not a good idea to have that in the resume, right?
Just not see the reason. By default, you're supposed to know this process. You know, like I'm not really excited before I was working on my first resume when I just started. I have all these browsers like Chrome, Safari, and everything else. Right now, you know, like right now my resume is the same, like short as it was. Like I'm only like adding my technical skills, like really fancy tools, but I'm definitely already deleted like browser stuff, maybe something related to the software development lifecycle, because I'm putting my companies, my projects, and my technical skills, because no one is excited, guys, about the huge resume with the 2 pages. Like 1 page, that's more than enough. So in your case, nice to have like maybe browser, some fancy feature about like life cycle of the software, like something, because you not really have a lot of projects. So in your case, that's fine. But put this one, deployment process, participated in the deployment process. So if you still feel that something is not really clear to you, please avoid this in your resume. Don't give the person who will be interviewing you the chance to fail you. Like, care about yourself. So I'm not sure that's the good idea to have this in your resume.
Thank you, Marina.
No problem. Okay, guys.
Marina, can I ask you the question? As we spoken here about mobile testing, I'm just curious how often the companies, maybe it's about startups, not about the big companies more, how often do you upgrade your real devices which you're using for testing? And what's the story overall about your devices? What do you have for testing purposes? I just want to understand what's going on.
We still have a lot of devices that using previous Android versions, like 7, 8, and latest one. So we're not upgrading some devices at all, like until we support in this version. For example, we still support like Android 8 and Android 9. So all devices are, like, for example, if it was Android 7, we will upgrade it to Android 8. But if it's Android 8 right now, and we will have couple more devices with Android 9, so this one we will be keeping with Android 8 to have an opportunity to test on real device with previous OS system. The same with the iOS. I have like multiple devices in my test library. Multiples means a lot, at least 50 devices, I would say, like, I mean, phones. So we keep tracking of the version of the phone. So if we need to update some device, definitely we will. I'm discussing with the team. Okay, hey guys, do you know if we still have same devices with the same version, or definitely we checking if we're still supporting this one. If Android 7 is not supported, there is no opportunity. Like, it's unnecessary to keep this device with the Android 7 version, so I can update to the 8, for example. And also like tested how our old device with a new OS will handle our application. So that's how usually it looks like.
I'm asking about the personal devices more. About the company, I can understand it, but about your personal ones, because, for example, I'm not working as a mobile testing, but I have about like 10, 15 different devices, just I'm using them. So just want to understand what's going on in this field.
I'm really updating my device like when it's needable. For example, I'm using Google Pixel 3 XL, so if any Android update, so they will send me like push notification, hey, update your OS, and just I'm updating immediately. Like, for example, the same, I have all updates automatically set up, and my phone allows to update everything automatically because I'm working in IT technology, and I know if something is updated, so there was a purpose. So that's why I'm not disabling auto updates. So that's how I'm using my phones.
I have one question. Is there a big difference between video game testing and like mobile and web application?
Guys, I had zero experience in the game testing. So because I'm not playing the games, it's not my field of interest in what I say, but if you play in games, so probably it will be interesting for you. For me, I will not even, if it's my first job, I would never apply to this position because I'm not interested in the games. There is a lot of company, for example, in New York City, who is developing games application like casino, like some sports game application. But I'm still strongly believe, and that's how I was looking for my first job. I supposed to be happy when I'm doing something, so I should be interested in this one. So right now, yeah, like almost so many years, like first my first company was a media company, second company was like more legal company, online learning and everything else, like, and after a couple of months I was so missing about my media environment, so I made a decision to go back. And right now, as for now, my heart strongly belongs to the media environment. I know how to test it. I love it. So that's really my one. So when you're looking for the job, please think from the perspective that it's not just like place where you will go from 9 to 6. You're supposed to be really excited about what you will be doing. That's the really huge step to success. Once you're interested in something, yes, you will be successful. So if you really want to test the games, why not? Go. You're just supposed to show to your interview that you definitely excited to be there, to work there, to test the games. So
yeah. But okay. I mean, yeah, I will try.
Yes, why not? So that's why I cannot like really tell you the difference between like mobile application and game testing because I had no experience about this one.
Yeah, me too. Like, I don't know what's the difference, like
yeah, you can always ask somewhere in community, like maybe some of our students are working as a game testers, so they will probably can, or somewhere in the Facebook, like ask guys, who is like testing games, do you like the job? Yeah, and Mehmet saying that the like really low paying job. So what can I tell you? If it's casino, like game, like casino game, it's not low paying job. They pay a lot. But if it's just like some games, yeah, that's more for like not young students, but yeah, but still.
No, I mean, I just applied to one job, and I cannot tell that it's like low income. Like it's a they like
if it's like paid application, like paid games, yeah, everything is depends, yeah. But overall, Mehmet is correct. So sometimes that's a really low paid job. But guys, even if it's low paid job, you're supposed to start from the something. My first salary also was not like $1 million, and still I was so happy when I found my first job. Yeah, definitely I got
that's what I think, you know. I think like, okay, I just need experience, and I like
guys, even don't think about the salary when you, yeah, definitely money, that's the real important, but you're supposed to find out just the job. So any salary in your case, I'm totally tell you, any salary is fine. Once you get an offer, just accept it like immediately if you're not even excited about the salary or something else. So you will get a real experience in a real company, and then go and just find whatever you want, and that's it. So yeah, do not pay attention to the salary. That's just like not important at all.
One more question. It's worth to spend the time with recruiting companies?
Yes. In your case, yes. In my case, is no. Because like I know how to sell myself without any recruiters. In your case, yes.
Yeah, because today someone from recruiter company contacted me, and she found the job that it's not even in the market. And it's about the game, like QA analyst in a video game
possible.
company.
Some companies not posting the really job on LinkedIn or Glassdoor. I just prefer to work with a recruiter agency. That sometimes it really happens. Sometimes that's just the fake positions. So everything is possible. So yeah, guys.
I mean, I went to this company. She sent me all information. I went to this company and I found this position in their website, but it wasn't anywhere like in production.
Yes.
Wait, not in production. I mean, in the market, like LinkedIn.
Sometimes company not posting. Yeah, that's the real truth. Yeah, also like, for example, some companies just maintain their own website, like careers.com, like with the company name. Yeah, and they not posting anywhere as a job because they know that like a lot of people monitoring the like company website with a job posting. So it's not really needable for some companies. So yeah, work with the recruiter, with a neighbor, with a website, with any site that can help you, anything. Like right now, you're supposed to accept everything, but just don't share your personal information, like work authorization, social security number with anyone until like, guys, yeah, you only during the background check process, you can share your social security number after the offer. You can, if someone asks you the paper, never share it without the offer, only to the background check company. That's it.
So how to understand, is it a real company or it's a fake company? Because
what do you mean fake company, or it's a recruiter agency?
Fake company who do background check, because I have zero experience about it, for example.
So once you will get job offer, they will send you a written paper. Usually that's you're supposed to, they will send you this offer by email, then and that will be linked, and then you will have to create a profile, sign up to this company application and read all this information and accept the offer, like using the digital sign-in. And then this company will provide you background check provider, and it will not be fake. So so once you will get a job offer from the real company, they will provide you this company who will be doing your background check. And this case company will not be fake. So before job offer, believe me, guys, I don't know any company who is doing background check before the job offer. So that's just not the case. So don't worry about this one. Anything else?
Yeah, one more question.
Sure.
Cross-browser testing, is it automation testing? It's not manual.
No, that's the manual test and automation too.
Uh,
Both. You
'cause-
can perform cross-browser testing using just your hands and multiple browsers installed on your machine, or you can do the same cross-browser testing using automation too.
Okay, I see. Because in the job description they have a cross-browsing testing.
Cross-browser testing, that's supposed to be inside each and every application. Means you know how to work with all browsers.
Ah, okay, like with a couple. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, guys, just go to the market, just not afraid, apply everywhere. Just you have to, you all guys know word, yeah? Вижу цель, не вижу препятствий. So that's your supposed to the main like your main idea like of your each and every day. So you're supposed to wake up. Okay, today I will apply. I will go searching. So I will find the position. So go and check. So I'm not sure when, when it happens. With some persons, like it's happened like after 2 weeks. With some, like months. It's like I found my first job after the 6 months, but I wasn't attended the test pro boot camp, and I never had your knowledge when I found my first job. So my knowledge maybe was like 20% of what you definitely know right now. So I would say right now you're better than me when I started first time. So just don't worry, everything will be fine. You will definitely find a job. So just don't be afraid. Go and do it, okay? Okay, guys. So yeah.
I'm sorry. I know it's a long lesson.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, what is your background experience when you got your first job? Just curious, I'd like to understand something for
my
comparison.
background is I was working in a bank, and my position was really high, and I was also leading the whole bank support, not just support like a customer service. That was backend support. So my department was supporting all backend operations. So I kind of had some technical background. So I'm really professional with all integration with, like, for example, all banks using MasterCard, Visa. So I was working with those companies also a lot. Yeah, so I lead in like huge department. So yeah, my background is mostly financial and backend support operation, but also I have a degree in technology management. So using my common sense, I would say, and everything what I learned from different school, and still it took me a lot of, I would say, 6 months, and not because like I failed in the interview. So I got my job offer from the third face-to-face interview. So in my experience, it was just a 3 interview. Like first one, I definitely failed, and it was like, when I like right now trying to recreate this in my memory, it was so embarrassing. I would say right now, it was like, I'm sure they will laugh and like from the second one was better, and third one was just like this. And I don't know, maybe there was like bad period in New York, was like not a lot of position, or just, like my destiny was waiting for me. So that was my job. And that's how it's actually happened. So, and I was really happy with my first job. So I was working in this company for the 2 years. So I made really like cool friends. So I learned a lot from our developers. So we're still in touch. So yeah, so don't worry about like background. Definitely sometimes it's really important, but believe me guys, between two persons who is really technical but not nice and rude, and between person who is less technical but nice and definitely will be team member, like good team member, second person will be hired. That's what happened exactly recently with one company. So, and I had feedback from this interview. So there was two persons, and one was really technical and passed all technical stuff, but all teams said no because person's kind of like really rude, like not in a good mood, and they accept second one who was less technical but just really excited about this position, and just whole team said yes, we wanted this teammate, and that's it. You see, sometimes technical, that's the number two. Yeah.
May I ask you one question? In LinkedIn, I applied for I think SBS company.
Bank.
It's been I not remember. No, it's not a bank. It's here in Los Angeles. So I applied, and then it's like was 2 weeks ago, and they always post the new jobs, and the same like QA analyst or QA engineer. Can I apply, or they already have my resume?
Yes.
And
if it's not a recruiting company, not an agency, if that's the company, did you check that's the company, not an agency?
Yeah, that's the company. It's not an
You already have your resume.
So it like, and they always like looking for more employers, and
it means there is not urgent. If it was urgent, at least someone like will come back to you. But guys, also each and every company has own process of the hiring. Some companies doing those process like from 2 to 4 months sometimes even. So I remember like it still happens, like yeah, it's not happened like was last year, but before I remember for example, I applied like in company like a couple of months ago, and I already forgot about this one, and I already found a different job, and the recruiter just contacted me, hey, thank you for the applying for the company, I would like to schedule the call. And I said, what? Sorry lady, that's too late right now. So also might happen. So don't be surprised if it will, like someone will contact you like 6 months late. That's United States, everything possible. So no one is rushing here.
Sorry for bothering you, but my experience was being the lastest interview what I have after 2 years. They call me back. So never know actually.
2 years. it's
yeah, that's a little bit interesting, guys. Believe me, to surprise me with someone related to the job search, I even don't know what's like it's supposed to be. I'm not surprised under any situation, questions, everything might happen here. So just don't be surprised, be ready for anything. Like that's how it works. So yeah, and please don't be in desperate if you like apply and that's just like 1 month and no one call you back. Sometimes guys, it's happened. So you're just supposed to make sure your resume, it's definitely looks like how we show you. You went to the mentorship session, so you definitely follow all advices. You always trying to recreate your memory from the classes, from the test cases. So still, so what I'm trying to tell you. So if bootcamp right now it's finished, like done, you're supposed to still continue to learning by yourself. Right now, everything like in your hands. So if you don't have like interviews right now or something else, so please practice, watch the classes, read some information. So keep in touch with the teammates, still do Scrum meetings. So believe me, guys, teamwork means everything. Like you're supposed to support each other like a family. So you almost like 2 months together. So you know each other a lot. So please keep doing the same. So like when I was in the same situation like you guys, I also had like team of the 10 people from our school. So we're still in touch, like definitely everyone already
employed, like in professional tester. So we're still like a friends, we in touch. And I remember how this support was like, that was so a lot to me. So it was so helpful. So please do the same for your team members. Be nice to each other, so, and support each other. It will only help you. So, you know, yeah, when you're sharing something good, that will definitely come back to you. Okay, guys. 11:40 in New York. Unfortunately, I have to tell you bye-bye, but I will see you again. Don't worry about this one. So wait for the mobile project. I will keep you posted. And yeah, also guys, we'll also keep you posted about some meetings, because I know they want to see you, like do like some kind of maybe graduation meetings. So yeah, we keep in touch, and good luck from all of my heart. Just go and find your dream job. Okay, guys?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Have a good night.
You too, guys.